Hi, welcome to Cloud Driving School, and this is the second video clip of how to set yourself up in the new Peugeot e-208. So we'll be looking at the ancillary controls, which are your sort of wipers, your indicators, your lights, and setting up the mirrors and the fan speeds, so you'll be ready to drive the car and feel a bit more relaxed when you actually first get into it. All right, so once you've got in and put your seatbelt on, which we covered in the first instalment, to be able to move the mirrors on the outside of the car, we need power to those first of all. So we need to actually start the engine effectively. So what you do with that is, once you've got in and set yourself up, we actually need to apply some pressure to the brake pedal. So the brake pedal is the larger of the two pedals down there. So that's your gas pedal there, and then your brake pedal here. So you want to just push it down. Nothing too hard, but just so you feel some resistance. Once you've done that, we have a start-stop button on the dashboard here. And you want to press that and hold it until you hear that and you see the dashboard light up, and it also has a ready symbol on the right hand side there of the zero of the speed reader. Okay, that tells you that the car is activated and ready to be driven once you've finished setting up the rest of your controls. So I want to do the side mirrors first of all. So on the door handle rest, there are some buttons. So you have your driver side rear window, the passenger side rear window, passenger side front window, and driver side window. To actually operate those, if you just push the switch down, the window will go down. If you lift the switch all the way up through 2 clicks, and you can see the window will go up on its own. And that's the same for all the other windows. Here, there is a switch with a picture of a mirror on the top. That controls the side of the mirrors that you want to move. So we want to move the driver's side, so push the switch all the way across. And then using the 4 arrows here, we can move the mirror out, in, up, and down. So if I hold the down button and you can see the mirror there, press the down bit and you can see it go down. Again, move to the up position, moving it up like that. Okay. It's very hard to actually show you how to get the mirrors or where you want them actually when you're driving, so I'll cover that when we are actually together in the car. To move to the left mirror, move the switch all the way across, and again using the same arrows I can move the mirror in. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this if I scan there. There we go, you can see the mirror moving in and back out with the left arrow there. Okay. So once you're happy with how the mirrors are set, and you're looking when to set the mirrors up, you're looking that you've got just about a couple of finger widths of car actually in the inside part of the mirror there. So like I say, it's quite hard to show on camera. And then the horizon would just be across the middle part of your mirror if you could see that far back. But I would obviously cover that much more detail with you in person. The central mirror, you're looking just to be able to see the 4 corners of the rear window in the 4 corners of the mirror. To actually move the mirror, just grasp it like so and twist down, up and around. You won't break it, it moves quite smoothly. It's stiff, but it moves quite smoothly. That is your mirrors ready and done. Just want to bring your attention, I'm just going to slightly unclip my seatbelt here, and on the top right hand corner of the dashboard up by the power writing, if I undo the seatbelt, you will see a red symbol appear. And if I put the seatbelt back into the clip, it goes. So that's something you want to check for to make sure that all your passengers are secured safely. Indicators. telling other drivers which way you intend to go. Most cars these days, the indicators are all on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. There will be, or maybe, some cars are a little bit different, but most are all on this side. So you can see the symbols on the side here. Actually coming through here is probably a better one. You can see this emblem here. That is telling you about your indicators. So to go to the left, push down till it clicks into place. You will see a flashing green light on the dashboard here, and you may also be able to see a flashing light on the edge of the mirror there. So when you glance to the left mirror to check that it's safe to turn, just before you turn, you will see that is also possibly flashing. The indicator will self-cancel, so once you've turned to the left, you can see me, I've pulled the steering wheel down, and as the steering wheel comes up and around, the signal will self-cancel. And it will do that most of the time. Occasionally we'll need to do it. Again, to do the right signal, obviously you would check your mirrors before you actually apply the signal. You just push up past the secure bit into its locking position. Again, you can see the right arrow and the right light there. And again, if I scan out, so you can see the steering wheel, so I'll move the steering wheel there, and as I bring the steering wheel down, once you've done the turn, you will see it self-cancels. That is your indicators. Your headlights, so all the lights are actually operated on the same stalk. So we have an auto setting. You will see that auto lights are activated. There is a green emblem underneath the half mark there. That actually shows you or tells you that the lights are on, and this has daytime running lights, so they were on, and this has daytime running lights front and rear. Not all cars have them on the rear, so you have to be careful that sometimes you think your lights are on when they're not. To actually turn on your side lights, twisting up the way or towards the windscreen, that puts on the side lights. They're just dim lights that illuminate at the front and at the rear of the car. There's not much use to be driving with them on in these days because they're not that bright. They're very good if you're parked up at night and you want to highlight where your car is. The next stage is what we would actually use when we're driving, and that is your dipped headlights. So again, rotary up, and you will see actually on the dashboard now, there is another green symbol there, sort of curved headlamp with 4 or 5 lines angled down the way. That is telling you the light is being shining down towards the road, and that is your dipped headlights. If you were to actually need main beam or high beam, as some Americans like to call it, in this particular car, to get to high beam or main beam, you pull the lever all the way towards you, past the indent, and then release. If I then go to the screen up here, you will see that there is now a blue symbol with the lines going straight out, and that's so the headlights are going into the furthest possible distance for you to help see at night time. Ideally, you don't want to use these when there is anybody else coming towards you because you're likely to blind them, and then obviously things can go wrong if you can't see when you're driving. So to take the main beam off on this car is exactly the same motion. Lever all the way towards and release, and you'll see it goes back to the dipped headlights. So the fog lights on this particular car, you need the dipped headlights on, which they're already on. Then the fog lights, you can just see the other switch there. So with the solid part there of the arrow, if you rotate up the way towards the windscreen, again, you'll just see, if I scan back in there, there is an orange light with a squiggly line going through the horizontal lines in amber or red. That is actually, it is amber. I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up. That is your rear fog light, and that should only be used if visibility is less than 100 meters. If visibility improves while you're driving and you want to turn it off, just rotate down the way, and then you can see that the symbol is gone. So if I then rotate the stalk switch back to auto lights, there we go, and you can actually see it tells you automatic illumination of headlamps activated. So that is all your headlight side. On the other side of the steering wheel are your wiper controls. This car has auto wipers as well as manual setting. So to do auto wipers, on the end of the stalk, if you push down the way once, you will see that it actually tells you auto wipers are activated, and in the side corner over here, a little curved screen with auto above it, that is your auto wipers are on. To disengage auto wipers, again, just flick down the way. If you don't want to rely on the automatic setting because it's not being particularly effective, which sometimes they're not, if you move up one, it puts the wipers to intermittent, so you'll see them go again in about 5 seconds time. There we go. And it will keep doing that until you turn it off. If it's heavier rain and you want to go quicker wipers, if you move up again one more notch, and you'll see they go constant. And another notch up again, and you can see they go even more quickly. So I'm just going to bring those to the off position. One of the things you will need to frequently do is wash and wipe the front window. So to do that, finger behind, not necessarily holding the steering wheel when you do it, but hand close by, and pull and hold, and you'll see that it will do a wipe on its own accord there. I'll just do that again, see if I can scan out, pulling towards me till it sprays, and then it will wipe, and then it will stop. We need to wash and wipe the rear window sometimes as well, especially when it's dirty. So on the end here again, you've got currently rear wiper is off, rotate up the way again, activates the rear wiper, and if you rotate again against the spring, you probably hear that, and if I do it again with the mirror, there you go, you can see that it does its own little bit of a wipe. What the rear wiper doesn't do is turn itself off once you've actually done that. So you'll see again it will go, there we go. So once you've done the wash and the wipe on the rear wiper, we need to actually physically turn it to the off position. So those are your normal driving controls there. The other things you'll want to maybe need are the temperature controls. So you can see on either side of the screen here it says 21 at the moment, so that's the temperature inside the car. If you wanted to change that, it's touch screen, so you'd press on that and then just press up for going up higher, or down to go down. We're set on auto on the fan speed at the moment, but if you wanted to change that manually, again, same type of process. And we can go back to the other screen. It will automatically go back after a while anyway. We have some other switches down here. So we have a row of switches here. So the red one is your hazard warning light. So if you press that, you can see it sets all the indicators going at the same time on the car. You can hear the ticking. So if you break down and you are partially blocking the road, that is what you would put on. You will also need to be able to demist the rear window, which is done electrically. So on this car, rear is near, and that's on this car, but it's a handy way of remembering it. If you push down, you can see a red light illuminate there, and that is on a timer. That will go off after about 10 minutes. You don't need to turn it off yourself, but I will for the moment. You can see it just going off there. The one with the curved symbol is to demist the front windows, the front window, the windscreen, and the side windows. So if I press that down, you can hear it increase the fan speed, and it directs it all up to the windows. You need to manually turn this one off, so I'll press it again before it gets too loud. If you were parked behind a bus or something that's emitting smelly fumes, if you press this one here, which is recirculatory air, you can see again a light comes on and it recirculates the air inside the car so you don't breathe in the worst of the fumes. You don't want to leave this on for too long because we ideally want outside fresh air into the car to help keep it the airflow balanced. So I'll just turn that off there. Okay, there is another row of switches or touch sensitive switches here which actually change the screen that you're on here. So if I, for instance, press the fan one here, you can see now it's gone to fan mode and you can change the direction of the airflow as well. Or if I press the one with the driving with the car on it, it brings us up to a sort of settings screen for the car. In this particular one, you've got also an electric symbol there. If I press that, it brings you onto the screen that shows you the amount of battery charge and what the car is actually doing. So I'll put it back to the radio. So those are your ancillary controls, and you'd be ready, once you know where those are, you'd be ready to drive the car. Quick explanation on the screen itself. At the moment we're set in dials mode, so we have the amount of charge and range available, a bit like your petrol gauge on a normal car. You've got a 0 or MPH at the moment. The red circle above it is actually, it's camera recognition. It recognises road signs. Now then, it's useful, but it's not always accurate. So always go with what you know the road sign is, not what you think the car tells you it is. The symbol above that is your handbrake. And on the right hand side there is your power meter. And ideally we keep it in the eco section when we're driving. Obviously it's not showing anything at the moment in time. The symbol on the top right there with the orange lines, that is telling you that the lane assist is off. Thank you for watching.